Hi everyone, welcome to the very part two of the video how to rank your website on Google as number one. So basically, how to use SEO to grow your business organically and appear as number one when anybody is searching for um, the services that you render or the niche that you play in basically. So in the very first video, I promised that I'll be giving out 15 hacks, right, or tips from um, my learnings from London Business School that I have personally deployed across our businesses. And thankfully, we're ranking as number one in the niche that we play in, which is in the promotional product industry in Nigeria and some other African countries. And these are proven tactics, right, that are result guaranteed from my learnings from London Business School. And I will be giving out again today another 5 tips to make it 10 tips. So if you've not seen the very first part of this video where I spoke about the very first 5 tips, you can just click the link above. It will take you to where we have the very first video, or just click the link below where you have related video. So there's a related video button beneath. So just click that button and it's just going to take you to where we have the very first video on how to rank your website on Google. So I'm just going to do a very high level summary of the first 5 hacks that I personally spoke about, just to give us a clear direction on where we are going as we handle the next 5 tips that I will be sharing shortly. So in the first video, I told us that the very first tip is actually your SEO journey and where that starts from, right? And I said your SEO journey starts from even when you are incorporating that business, when you are registering that business, what you should do and how your business should have high ranking keywords when you're incorporating that business, right? As well as your URL. And the second tip that I gave is the importance of SEO in 2025 for your businesses. Then the third tip that I mentioned was actually based on keyword research. So I mentioned that you need to do proper keyword research using platforms like SEMrush, RF, Spyful to find out how those keywords in your niche are performing to help you make the right decision on the kind of keyword to use. So you need to do those researches and be sure that the keyword you're trying to incorporate into your homepage details or your homepage write-up is got high ranking keywords that are doing fantastically well in terms of monthly search volume and competition. So you need to look for a keyword basically that is got a very high monthly search and low competition. So that's the tip for, that's the third tip. You can see all of this there when you go to the very first video that I made. And the fourth tip that I gave was on website content. So what you need to do with your website content, how you need to incorporate these high ranking keywords into the content of your website, right? Especially on your homepage, there you need to put in these keywords and how to put them, right? So you'll find that there as well. And the fifth one that I spoke about was basically about design and structure of your website, how user friendly your website is. So basically on user friendliness. of your website, right? So those are the first five tips that I shared during my first video on this. So the second video now I will be focusing on another five tips, and these five tips that I'll be focusing on, I will just call it now tip six. So tip six is actually on page indexing, right? So that's tip six. Then tip seven is basically on how to write your title tags and your meta description as well. So that's the next tip, which is tip seven, right? Then tip eight is going to be on image resizing. You must have seen some ads where you see fantastic images beneath, so you need to know how to do image resizing for Google to be able to push out your images in line with your value proposition, in line with whatever message you are trying to communicate to people. Then the ninth tip is actually on backlinks, right? How to get backlinks and what backlinks are, how you can use them. Then the last tip for this video, which is now tip 10, will basically be on how to use mixed strategy in getting your businesses up there. So when I mean up there, I mean getting your businesses to rank as number one on Google based on what people are searching for. That's the area that you play in, right? So in the very third part now of this video, I will be releasing another five hacks and also show you how to practically do some of these things, right? So it will be easy for you to integrate them into your website and start winning as expected, right? So now let's go back to tip six. So tip six basically is on page indexing. So after you have done everything from tip one to tip five, right? You also need to do what is called page indexing. So after optimizing your website, if you do not let Google know that my website is already optimized for crawling, right? It will take Google some time to crawl your website. So what we're trying to do when we do page indexing basically is to forcefully make Google crawl website in a timely manner. Because if we leave it, yeah, maybe eventually Google is going to crawl the website and all, but it's going to take a very longer time. So now we need to see how we can make Google crawl uh, website. So now you have optimized your pages. You have done you have applied or implemented the tips that I shared in the first video, the first five tips. Now, when this is done, then you need to go to Google Console to help you in indexing. So you need to set up a Google Console account, and when you set up that Google Console account, Google will want to verify the ownership of the website that you have put in there to actually find out if you are the owner of that website, and all will ask you a couple of questions that you need to follow through. And when that is done, your Google Console account will be set up. Google Console is a fantastic platform by Google that will help you do a whole lot. It will help you inspect your URL. It will tell you whether your URL is already on Google. It will tell you if your URL is live on Google. It will tell you if it can be indexed, right? And also all you need to do when you set this up, right, is to go back to your website. So let's say the homepage, for instance, that you have optimized. Just copy go to your address bar, right? Click on it, copy the entire thing there. So let's say we're doing www.jusabranding.com.ng, for instance. You just copy that address, which is the home page. Go back to Google Console. You will see where there is inspect URL. So just click on it, paste it right there, right, and click on search. So when you click on search, Google will tell you that this page cannot be found on Google, right? So when you see that towards your right, you will see a test button, right? So click on that test button. Google will find out for you if this URL can be indexed, right? So when that is done, Google will tell you, yes, this URL can be indexed. Then you can now click on index this URL, index this page. So when you click on that, Google will help you. Google will add you to a queue of all the others waiting to be indexed, right? So this is what you need to do when it comes to indexing your pages or making Google crawl your pages faster. So you go back again to your website, the other pages that you have optimized. So let's say, for instance, you've got a page where there are products, or you've got a page where there are services, as the case may be, and you also want people to see that easily. So you go back to that particular page. So now not the home page. You've done the home page. So all the other pages that you have on your website that you have optimized. So just repeat the same process. So let's say that other page is your let's use about us page for instance, right? If it's your product page, your service page, as the case may be, right? So you click on that about us page. So clicking on that about us page, you just basically repeat the process that I have mentioned. So copy that particular URL on your website that is speaking to your about us or to your product or your services, as the case may be. Pick it, come back to Google Console, throw it into the inspect URL and Google Console. Google Console will inspect it for you. Of course, Google hasn't crawled your website, so it will show that um, your this particular page cannot be found on Google. So you test, will tell you it can be indexed. You go ahead and index it, then that's it. So Google adds that to queue. You will even see there that okay, you've been added to queue, and Google will crawl your page, right? So that's how that is done basically. So you just repeat it for all the others. So that's four tip six, right? So let's quickly go into tip seven. So tip seven, like I mentioned, I'm going to be teaching you, which is basically about title tags and meta description optimization, right? So if you have access to the back end of your website, right, and there's what is called title tag and there's what is called meta description. So you will see that maybe your developer will just put in anything there and all. But now that you have done a fantastic keyword research, now that you know the keywords that are performing very well for you, you have optimized your homepage and the content. Your website is got using this keywords that are ranking very high. So all you need to do now is to make sure that there's alignment in the keywords that you have using. You already have the keywords written in the body of your write up on your homepage and all other pages. So now we need to see how we can create a title that has this same high ranking keyword integrated in them and a description, a meta description of your service that has this keyword also integrated in them. So when you're writing the description, basically, these high ranking keywords that you have been able to pick out, make sure that these high ranking keywords are incorporated into your meta description and your title tag in a nutshell. So that's what I'm just saying basically, right? And you will also see another place if you have access to the backend of your website that will speak to SEO, right? So you click on that place where you have SEO and you will repeat, right? That same title tag that has keywords integrated in them, and you also integrate or put in the meta description that has keyword integrated in them. Then the keywords. Remember that I mentioned before, right, that you need to use your AI tool to generate keywords that you go and search for how they are performing. So this list of keywords that you have, you will now take this list of keywords. There's a place there where you see keywords, click on it and also input those keywords. And then in the very last video, I'll show us how we can do some of this. So that is tip 7, right? So for tip 8, which speaks to image resizing. So I'd mentioned that when you go to Google to type a particular thing, for instance, you will see you see what is called you see on this Google search engine report page, you see how people's businesses are popping up. You see where they're sponsored, you know, there's a sponsored ad, and you see the ones that do not have sponsors. So those are the organic ones, right? And sometimes for those organic ones, you will see images beneath the write up for each of those businesses. So I know that you sometimes wonder how Google pulls out these pictures. So it's basically on this image resizing that I want to mention at the moment. So beyond Google crawling your website, Google has a way of also crawling your images, right? And if you do not put in the right image and the right tag for those images, Google may not display your images when it's displaying your business. So, in resizing images on your website, it's super important you follow Google's recommendation, which is either you are doing a 1200 pixel by 1200 pixel, or you do maybe a 600 by 600 pixel, a 300 by 300 pixel, but do not let it go below 300 by 300 pixel, right? And when you are saving your images, so here's what the experts may not tell you. So when you are saving your images, right, there's what is called alternate test. There's what is called odd test, right? So this odd test speaks to Google what that image is about. So you don't just save images without putting alt text, right? So for alt text, you put exactly what that image is about. Oh, an image showing this, showing that. This is an image of a t-shirt, an image of this, an image showing this, an image showing that. So Google knows exactly what this particular image is about. And for those who can really, brothers and sisters who can really not see, so but they can at least feel with their hand and they will be able to understand what that image is about. So it is important that you put a tag, which is the alt text I'm talking about, and you make sure you follow Google's recommendation on image resizing, whether you are doing a 1000 by 2 1200 by 1200 pixels, or you are doing a 600 by 600 um, pixels, right? So or maybe a 300 by 300 for mobile, as the case may be, right? So that is tip 8. So for tip 9, I'm going to be speaking on backlinks. So backlinks have always been there from a very long time. People will tell you that, you need thousands and thousands of backlinks, right? Well, yes, in as much as backlinks are good, they give the website authority, but you can still do without having thousands, millions of backlinks on your website before you start hitting the very first page on or with Google. Yes, but backlinks are important. How do you get these backlinks? So backlinks basically they just tell Google the authority that your website is got, right? So if a renowned brand, or if businesses that are well known, if they probably write an article and put a link, right, on that article, put a link in the article to your website, right? So it shows, and someone clicks on that link to your website, so it shows that your website is got authority because of this known brand that has written an article with your website embedded in that article, right? So what people do then is they contact top businesses, or you can even write your own personal article about another business, and eventually see how you can reach out to them to also put you on their website, just to give your website that authority. So yes, having backlinks are important. You reach out to one or two people, let them have your website integrated into there. So when I'm talking about your what I'm talking about your URL integrated into your into their website, just to give your website that kind of authority, right? So the very last strategy I'm going to be talking about now is the which is tip 10, is actually the mix strategy, right? So apart from doing SEO just to make sure you rank, there's another very easy way to just appear as number one on Google search engine report page, and that particular um, strategy is actually what we call in Google Ads, right? So Google has made it easy for those who do not have the search engine optimization skill to also rank their businesses on Google as number one for visibility. But you now have to pay Google for that particular service. So that's basically Google Ads, right? Google creates a platform for you to put in your value proposition and give the necessary information that your business has got. So Google now uses the information that you have given to Google now to refine everything, create the ad, optimize everything that they want to optimize for you to appear as number one. So if you go to Google and you type a particular business, for instance, you will see businesses popping up, but there's a label beneath it where you see sponsored, right? So seeing that sponsored, you already know that, okay, this is Google Ads. So Google ads does pay per click in USD, right? So when anybody clicks on that particular link where there is sponsor, when anybody clicks on your business after you had used Google Ad to push your business to number one, you pay per click. So anytime anybody clicks on it, you pay per click. So in the next video that I will be doing, the last 5 tips that I'll be sharing, I will also speak on how to do Google Ads the right way, especially when it comes to the part of relevance. So I will show you how to do that the right way, right? So, but what SEO skills will do for you basically is what you are paying Google now to push as number one for you. SEO can help you organically grow to that level where when anybody types anything, just you're going to appear as number one without paying anything for it. So it is better also to put it this way, that Google Ad is premium and SEO basically is freemium. So SEO will just take you there freely, but Google Ads you need to pay to get there. But here's the kicker, right? For most businesses, regardless of the fact that they've got the SEO skills, what they do is to use this mix strategy, which is which is the 10th tip now that I'm sharing with you. And this mix strategy is using both SEO and Google Ads to make sure that anything that they are missing, Google Ad is helping them correct it. Yes, I'm already ranking as number one on this particular keyword, right? So when anybody types in this keyword or that keyword, I'm going to appear as number one, right? But I'm not using that strategy only. I'm also using Google Ads as well. So Google Ad is pushing for me to make sure that I stay there regardless of what somebody is looking for, right? And I have optimized pages and websites will also be sure that we are there. So if you look at businesses like Amazon, even us, for instance, we also use this same me strategy where we do both Google Ads and SEO. So Google Ads and SEO, so those two have really helped our businesses, have helped our businesses stay as number one when people are searching. So why this is good basically is when you miss anything, you are sure that Google Ads will not miss that. So if you look at even top brands like Amazon and the others, they actually use this mixed strategy. All right. So that's why sometimes when you search for maybe a particular product and Amazon is popping up, you will see where Amazon is organically, and you also see Amazon with a sponsored label, being just telling you that okay, that's Google ad, and also mixed strategy is what top brands are using to make sure that they do not leave any stone unturned. So I hope you enjoy this video and look forward to um, creating the very third part of this video that will speak to the very last five tips. So do not forget to click the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that when these videos come in, it will be easy for you to spot them. Thank you for your time and see you on the next one.